It's real great that y'all came to support Master Molin. I'd like to introduce our judge, Grandmaster Robert Dunn, 9th degree black belt. Came up from Hendersonville today to perform the testing. Grandmaster Dunn's the founder of the June Taekwondo Federation, which is the certification that we're going to be presenting Master Molin with when he passes his testing today. So, with that, here we can sit down and go into the oral test. Okay. Good. Continue. Hey! 2 feet. Alright, step back into a front stance and low block. Moving forward, obverse punch. Ready to turn, knife hand. Ready to turn, spear hand. Ready to turn, back fist. Ready to turn, hammer fist. Ready to turn, reverse punch. Ready to turn, horizontal elbow. Ready to turn, ridge hand. Ready to turn, twin punch. Ready to turn, upward elbow. Ready to turn, mid knuckle punch. Ready to turn, vertical punch. Ready to turn, twin upset punch. Ready to turn, twin palm fist. Ready to turn, crescent punch. Ready to turn, turning punch. Turn, fighting stance. Step back, vertical. Yeah.
Let's give him a big hand.
We're going to move into our blocks. Yep. Shoot it. Step back, low block. Moving forward, low block. Ready to turn, high block. Ready to turn, double knife hand block. Ready to turn, square block. Ready Ready to turn, square block with the knife hands. Ready to turn, circle block. Ready to turn, double forearm block. Ready to turn, pressing block. Ready to turn, hooking block. Ready to turn, scooping block. Ready to turn, low X fist. Ready to turn, mid X knife hand. Ready to turn, 9 shape block. Ready to turn, fighting stance. Step back, vertical. Dip. And you can
Give
get
him a big hand. I'd like to give you some more information.
Yes, sir.
Explain to me about hip. How important is hip in stepping into your opponent or stepping away from your opponent? How does the hip work? Why does the hip work that way? Where does power come from? Give me anything you have about the hip.
Yes, sir. So your power starts from the ground. It's from your feet into your hip. You have to rotate in or away from your technique, depending on if you're retreating or attacking. So just like when you're throwing a ball, if you just do it with your arm, it won't go very far, but if you use your hip and everything behind it, it's where all the power comes from.
Okay, good. Mr. Boyles, why don't you step out there? I want you to step, trade places with him so I can see his place. You step back in the right L stance, fighting position, facing your opponent. Okay. Now, explain to me what major line attack is going straight in, straight out, versus minor line going to a 45 to his outside or a 45 to the inside. Let's talk about major line first.
Yes, sir.
Good, bad, whatever. Tell me anything you can about major line and anything about major line.
So the major line is basically a plus symbol in the floor. So if he comes straight towards you, this is a major line movement, or straight backwards. And even if we move together to the side, this is still a major line movement. Now if I step towards him and he comes to my side here, kind of in the shape of an X, okay, come this way. Now he's entered the minor line movement. Same thing on this side. If I punch him, he steps this way. He's gone minor line, even retreating as well. So if he steps this way here and goes to side kick, he's done his retreat on the minor line.
Why would you use a minor line? If he's attacking you, step in and punch. Don't do anything yet. Move back just a little bit. Just don't do anything.
Yes, sir.
Just step in and punch with the right hand in a fighting stance. You don't have to do step in with the right foot and go. And you're punching straight from A, shortest distance to one point to the next is a straight line. So you're going to punch straight. No matter what he does, that's all you're going to do. Go back. Okay. Now, a major line, you can step in with a rising block or step back with a rising or any other block.
Yes, sir.
Explain why you would use a minor line and what side you would go to. Go.
So if he punches in here, I would want to get on the outside of his attack with my minor line. Of course, making sure I block his attack so I don't get hit or tracked with it. And this way I can move and get an attack offline where he's not expecting it. To where here we can just go back and forth all day. We're both close or equally skilled. So if he punches, I can block, and I can punch and he can block, and we just stay in front of each other. This helps kind of get
It's
into
like
the blind
two bulls
spot.
clashing, power against power. But now you're using redirection by going to an angle. Why would you come this way? And I know why you did, but I want them to know why. Why would you come to step and punch? Why would you step to his outside instead of over there in front of that punch.
So if I step here, I kind of get into his blind spot, his arm is in the way, and I can use his arm to kind of manipulate where he goes. If I step this way, he can just slightly turn, and I'm still inside of his
And his
ankle.
other
That's his
attack
back
too.
hip and back leg, where he can attack with as well, that I might step right into. But this way, he's already loaded on the front leg, so there's not a lot he can do. I can sweep, I can hit from here, because he's already committed most of his power to that right side.
Step back into a right elbow stance.
Sir.
Good. Now, you're getting ready to fight. Take any stance you want.
Sir.
Good. Now, step in real close, real close. The grappling stance. This is, I'm trying to explain to you about distancing. I'm not sure if you know, I'm going to do one or two of them, you do the rest. Number one is in close for grappling and takedown. You can grab him, he can grab you, you can hit him with your hand, elbow, he can do the same, knees and everything. Number two, is step back just a little bit, is for hand technique. Put your hand out, Mr. Boyles.
Yes, sir.
You can touch him, he can touch you. Number three, step back a little bit more, go from there.
Kicking range is out here. We're too far from punching, but I can still reach with my kicking techniques.
And then step back on four.
So this is out of range, kind of the rest zone. If you're sparring, you can step outside of range, kind of get a breath, move around before you re-engage and get into one of those three zones.
Good. Take a fighting stance again.
Okay.
There's three types of blocking. One type of blocking is jamming. If you step in, you just rush in with any technique, all he's going to do is raise his knee or step in with his upper body and then jam your technique. Move back a little bit.
Sir.
You step in with anything, he's going to jam you. Go. That's jamming. He's stamming. The second thing is called holding your ground. No matter what you do, he's not going to go any way but hold it, deflect whatever you've done, and now you've already closed the gap, so now you're within his hands and his knee. Step in. See? Now you're right inside. And the third is evasion. You're going to move back, and he's going to either move to an angle or straight back. Go. To an angle, or he's going to move straight back. Now, watch this. Y'all both move back a little bit. He's going to throw three techniques at you. You keep moving back. Go. Good. Now, in a real situation, you probably wouldn't do left, right, because you wouldn't have enough time. So go back and do it again, because he's going to catch you in the middle of it anyway. Go. Rush him back. What did you learn? He can move faster forward than you can backwards. This is why we use a 45-degree angle. You never step more than one, for sure never did two back. Now you're creating a pattern, and you become what they call a favorite technique fighter, doing the same mistake over and over, expecting a different result. It just doesn't happen. You just get punched in the eye. So the bottom line is, one or two back, and then you have to go to a 45 and then blow by. Catch him on the way by. Let me see if you can do that. This is not me grading you. This is not me grading you, Mr. Boyles. This is grading him with the information to see if he can get it. Go. You got to move to a 45 before you can attack. Good. That's good. Thank you, sir. Okay, Mr. Boyles, come back.
Sir.
Move on.
All right, we're going to move into the kicking portion. So, shoot in. Right foot back, fighting stance. Moving forward, stretch kick. Ready to turn, fighting stance. Moving forward, front, snap, kick. front spin side kicks with either leg. Slide back to the corner by the leg. And our last kick is going to be a flying side kick.
Yes, sir.
That's it for our stepping techniques.
Sir.
Grab some water.
Let's give him a hand. Let's talk about kicks for a second.
Yes, sir.
First off, I'd like to say your kicks are excellent. Not just good, excellent. Let's give him another hand. Tell me the mechanics of the technique, kick or anyone.
So, chamber, execution or kick, re-chamber, and then step down into your stance.
Explain to me spatial awareness. When you're fighting your opponent, the importance of spatial awareness.
I believe what you mean is if I'm too close, I can't use certain kicks, so I need to make sure I'm in kicking range. Spinning techniques, spin side kicks can be a little closer, but most kicks are going to be in the kicking range of the kicking.
Exactly right. There's another thing too, obstacles. What if you're in a situation, there's a chair here, and there's a person standing there, and there's something else is here, you have to be able to understand where you can move,
Yes,
or
sir.
where you can lay the bodies, so they're not in your way, so for your next move, or your next attack.
Yes, sir.
It's called spatial awareness. Now, with spatial awareness, and with mechanics of the technique, tell me everything about kicking that's important to a student learning how to be a black belt, at red belt, black belt, striking level, being a black belt. Tell me what are some things you can add to that.
The first thing I would say is slowing everything down, not worrying about power as much as accuracy and technique in the beginning. So first you technique, then you get more to speed, and then last you want to add power. You don't want to mix those up because they can create injury or make incorrect technique. Do a lot of techniques from the floor, so we take balance out of it as we're learning, and then we add balance into it, making sure they know their center mass and how to shift their weight onto the back, keeping the front leg light. Start with front leg techniques, then rear leg, then stepping techniques, stepping together and kicking.
Very good. And now I'd like before we end this part of it, there's something called eye gap coordination. These are things as a master instructor you have to know.
Yes.
And I want to make sure you know it, but I want to explain it so I know you know it.
Yes.
Eye gap coordination. And you're going to have a party. Mr. Boyles, go out there.
Yes, sir.
And let me tell you what it is first. Eye gap coordination is when you're fighting somebody, they start a technique, and they're moving at you, you're recognizing the technique, you're looking at the speed they're coming in, and the speed that you're coming in, either at an angle or a straight line, and you're fixing it where you can just be at their eyelash every time. Take fighting stance,
Sir.
and you step in at it, and like you're getting ready to punch with the left hand. Okay, now go back and do the same thing again. Go back. Okay, ready? Go. Faster. Go back. And go back. Now, you're going to go to that side, and you're going to punch with that left hand to his right side of his face. Step over and punch at it.
Yes, sir.
Just
So
step
he's
over.
gonna punch?
He's not going to punch it. Step back a little bit, Mr. Boyles. Yep. Now, okay, now Mr. Boyles, you step back further.
Sir.
He's going to punch where you were. So step back a little bit more.
Sir.
Now, don't do anything yet. You step in, punch, then you're at lunge. You got to get in lunge. Go. Go. Now you see where he's going to be?
Yes, sir.
Eye gap coordination. You've got to check that speed and his movement and still not hurt your student. Go. Go again. Go again. Okay, do you understand eye gap coordination?
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you very much. Give me a hand.
Alright, we're going to do our forms now, so go ahead and get enough space to do yang get.
Sir.
Yep.
How many movements are you on there, you know?
Yang get. Should be. And begin.
Student patterns, at the end of the patterns, all student patterns. There's 9 of them. They all step forward. If you're facing to the left or the right, you come back to the original position. All black belt patterns step back except 3. You know the first one? Gay sawmill, and young gay. Step back. If no trees, you step back.
Oh, yes, sir.
Go.
We're gonna do ulchi, so go ahead and get enough space on the floor.
Sir.
You may have to stop when you get to the top part of that Z and reposition yourself so you're not.
Yes, sir. I'll adjust this, sir.
Yep, can you?
Sir.
Should be. And begin. Last form is going to be moo-moo, so go ahead and get plenty of space on the floor.
Yes, sir.
Good. Continue.
Sir.
Should be. And begin.
Give a big hand. The next section is going to be 1 step, so it's prearranged fighting. The fighting is broken down into free spar, semi-free, and prearranged. Prearranged, you have an attacker come to you with a specific punch, or kick, or knife hand, or whatever attack. Today they're probably only going to do punch, or whatever it's going to be. It's prearranged, nobody gets hurt. This allows the person testing, the person grading, get a chance to practice strong, hard technique, and the person delivering the attack doesn't flinch, doesn't move, stays there, because he trusts your control. So we want to see things at a master level, 5th-degree black belt level. So do 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever you have prepared.
Yes, sir.
And that'll be enough.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Boyles, come out and stand beside Master Molin. Face Master Dunn.
Sir.
Continue. Face each other.
Sir.
Continue.
Sir.
Alright, so I know you got some from a punch and some from a kick. So Mr. Boyles, go ahead and go into a down block position, and then you take over from here.
Yes, sir. Ready. this one there. Ready. Ah! So these are the 1-steps that we do with our kids, but they have black belt moves added to the end, so they should recognize them. I also want to show everybody that you can do these not just from punching. So we're going to start with a grab. So we're going to go back to number 1. He's going to grab across. So instead of punching now, he's done this. We're going to circle his arm up, and then again, knife hand, 3, and that same 1 step again. All right. So now this time he's going to grab across here. So stepping inside doesn't make sense for me this time. So I'm going to swing this across. We're doing the same double knife hand technique. I'm going to grab him here and control him down. And the last one, he's going to get a really good grip where I can't pull free. So again, we step back on number 3. But I'm going to pull him in to my side kick, spin side, and then spin hook kick there. Okay.
Give him a big hand. So the whole idea here is just, I'm trying to look at Master Molin's technique. I'm trying to see the different kind of movements he does. I'm looking at his spatial awareness. I'm looking at how he moves from one technique to the next. I'm looking to see, does it make sense, the second and the third and the fourth technique he does, did he do them in the correct order? I'm looking to see where his guard is. I'm looking to see how the opponent responds to his movement. That shows me his teaching. I'm looking at more than just the kicking and punching.
So, face each other. Step back, fighting stance. We're going to go until Grandmaster Dunn says stop.
Yep.
So until I seen enough. Ready, go! Stop. Face each other. Chip.
Let's give him a big hand. Mr. Boyles, do not reset every time you reset. Put your right foot back every time, because that makes you look like a favorite technique fighter. You're changing left and right as the fight's going on. But when he scores, when you reset, you always reset with your right foot back. He already knows that. He teaches you. But your opponents are going to, you do it more than 2 times in a row, it looks like a habit. Then they're looking for it, and they have a technique coming in that direction. It's halfway there before you actually get set, because they know that's where you're going.
Yes,
Don't let your opponent read you like that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Face each other. Fighting stance. And we're good until Grandmaster Dunn says stop.
Yes, sir.
Ready, go!
Let's give him a big hand.
Face Grandmaster Dunn.
There.
Thank you, sir.
Good guys.
Thank you. You're
Yeah, sure.
It takes years to get to the level where these people are at. Years. Students test every 2 or 3 or 4 months in between different colored belts. But black belts is years. Why Great Master Does is years? Because that belt around your waist is not going to help you in a real situation. They don't care whether you're green belt or black belt or whatever, 9th degree, they don't care what degree you are. It's the skills that you have. That's what the belt really is supposed to be representing. So the bottom line is, you have to not just wear the belt, you have to be the belt.
Basic Grandmaster Dunn.
Sir.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell Grandmaster Dunn and the audience what breaks you're going to do, and then you can set up and just introduce each one. I'm going to do this break.
Let me explain something about the board breaking. Oh, they say, oh, Grandmaster Dunn, why doesn't do 5 black belt boards or 8 black belt boards? And we're not looking at how many you do. That's not what I look at as a 9th degree black belt. What I look at is your mechanics, your body position, your face, how you're looking at it, where your hands are. Is it hitting with the proper breaking tool, proper part of the foot? I'm looking at body mechanics. I'm looking at position of the body. I'm looking at so many things. Whether it breaks or not is not important to me. What's important to me is your how you position everything.
Yes.
All that. Okay.
Go ahead, set up.
Sir. So whenever?
Whenever you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Give a big hand.
So that concludes all the physical requirements. Let's go ahead and bow to Grandmaster Dunn.
Yes, sir.
Grandmaster Dunn, why do we do testing in front and let everybody see? Why don't we just do a private testing? Let me tell you how testing used to be when I was a student in 62, I started. Back then you would take a test, it would be you and the instructor. And when you got done your test, they didn't even tell you if you passed or failed. And it might be weeks, even a month, before they would tell you if you passed or failed. They wanted you to think about it. And sometimes it would take 2 or 3 months to even get your certificate. The Koreans did things a little different than the way things are done today. I don't agree with some of the things that they did, but that's how it was back in the day. Today, how we feel about that today is we want everybody to see what your performance is. If you weren't ready for your rank, you would not be standing here today to begin with.
Yes, sir.
I don't like to fail students. I do fail students from time to time. But how I eliminate that, I make sure they're 100% ready before I go and visit them. Before the test time, and I travel all over the United States and outside of the country and everything. So I make sure that me being there is going to be a happy experience. You know, you did fantastic today, much better than I even thought you were going to do. Your technique is just impeccable. I think your association with Master Hare has helped you tremendously. And I know at one time you were his student.
Yes, sir.
So I know that you've gained a lot because of that association.
Yes.
He's invested a lot into you. So please don't forget that. He had the opportunity to test and he's denied that. And whenever he decides he wants to test, I'm there for him when he wants that.
Yes, sir.
But don't let strikes get in the way of your relationship. Strikes mean nothing on the belt. You look at the strike. I said, look at that, you're going to get cross-eyed. It means nothing. It means nothing. What matters is what you have here and what you have here. And when I tell my students, before you use this or that, you have to use this. You know, use common sense. So, do you have anything you want to add about this lesson today?
No, everything went great.
It's fantastic. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Good. Why don't you come right here?
Yes, sir.
And we're going to do it on the side, so anybody
Yes, sir.
wants to take photos, they can. Master Hare, if you'll take his belt off.
Yes, sir.
If you'll pick that up for me. Put this drove 3 hours to get here. Got up at 6 o'clock this morning so I could be here. And I had to drive 3 hours home at $5 a gallon gas. I came because you're worthy. That's why I came. By the power vested in me as a 9th degree black belt and the founder of the International Junton Taekwondo Federation, I'm honored to present you and award you the rank of 5th Dan, 5th degree black belt. Congratulations.